This is the Module 4, Excel Module 4, and it is the skills review that is on page 4-20, and it goes up to 4-21. So the first thing we do is open up 4-2, and it wants us to save it as, I'm going to just save it as this over here since I already have it. The food services followed by your initials. The book does not tell you to put your initials, but I'm asking you to do that, so that makes it easier for me to grade your thing. Then we go to, in the worksheet, select a range containing the sales data and headings. And it tells us do not select the total rows. So this is the sales data and the headings. We're not going to do the total rows, so we're just going to select all the way up to row 8. And we have the chart quick analysis. If you have a Mac, I do not believe you will get this. You'll have to go to Insert Chart, which is basically the same thing. So let's go to click on it, and I'm going to click on Chart. And here's our clustered. If you have a Mac, just click on Insert, and then on Chart. I like to do the All Charts. And here is the cluster, the same thing. And we now have our chart, which we're going to do some modifications on it. So that was number C. Then we're going to number D is add the chart title, brand, sales by month. So I will just click inside the chart title where I get the flashing cursor, hit Control A to select it. That's the easiest way for me to do it. You can do it however way you want to do it. And we want to do brand, sales, comma, by month. And I'll click anywhere outside. Don't hit the Enter key because it'll just add a blank line. That was number letter D. Save our work. Move and resize the chart. So I'm going to save our work here. Tells us to move and resize. So we're going to put the chart in here. Now notice the crosshairs. So we're going to put it in A11. And I'm going to leave it just a little bit offset to show you that you could actually use your arrow keys to adjust it. And then we're going to make it where it goes all the way to H. So that looks good. D is use a quick layout in the chart layout group to move the legend to the right of the chart data. We did that. So this is a legend here, and we'll go to the chart data. So let's go and go to the chart design. Here is our quick layout, and it tells us to do the first one. So that takes care of that. And I believe I did an error. So this is a good opportunity for me to go back and fix our errors. I missed a row, or actually a column. So let me go back and do this quickly here. And do the same thing. And this is a good reason why you always want to look at the example, because it's easy to read an instruction wrong, and this gives you the opportunity to fix that. So now we're good over here. We have the chart titles in here. We have this data series and all the things that we need that are actually accurate. I'm going to change the chart title. Going to move it over. And there are ways to fix that even after you've done it. And we'll drag it over. Now, the reason why it says Series 1 and all that stuff down here is because there were no headings for it to do it. It just had numbers. Had we used the headings, and of course the classic in here, had I just done this up top here, it wouldn't have given, there would have been a series and wouldn't give the exact names of what you want to do. So it would make the chart very difficult to read. So we fixed that. which was fairly easy. It tells us to do the quick layout. So let's go back to chart design. Here's our quick layout. And here we have classic on the right. That takes care of that. Then we're going to move the chart to a new worksheet. So you can do it one of two ways. You can click on the move chart up top here, or you can right click and choose move chart here, whatever way is more exciting. And then we're going to change the name of the chart to column. And that takes care of that. Notice the size has changed in there to fill the whole screen pretty much. That is all of 2. This is a good time to save my work. I'm hitting Control S to save. I'm going to change the chart layout using the elements. We're going to remove the grid lines. These are the grid lines. Before I remove the grid lines, I'm going to add the vertical grid lines so you can maybe get a little better grasp of what they are. So if we go to grid lines, you can see horizontal should already be checked. So let's go to the vertical. And now you can see it kind of looks like a box. So to remove the grid lines, I don't need to do each one individually. I can just click on the grid lines here, and they're both gone. That takes care of A. B is change the font used in the horizontal and vertical axis to Times New Roman. So here is our horizontal axis. And I'm going to right click and choose font. And I'm going to type in Times, and that should bring us to Times New Roman, which it did. It doesn't say anything about changing the font size, so that works out good. The next thing I'm going to do is change the vertical, which I don't see any vertical. Let me see if I missed a step. Since I missed step 3, let me go back into it. So we're going to activate the quarter 1, quarter 2 sheet. And we're going to change B4 to 80,000. So this is B4. We'll change it to 80,000. That takes care of A. B is select the chart, use the chart top bottom to change the chart to a clustered bar chart. So we need to go back to column. And we're just going to change it to a bar, which will make the bars go vertically, rather horizontally instead of vertically. That's pretty easy to do. We just click on change chart type, and we're going to go to bar, and notice that they're horizontal. And then we'll go back to the clustered. You could just use undo if you want. That takes care of C. And then D is apply chart style 6. So let's go to chart style, which is this up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 3, and we're going to save it. Done. And number 4 is change the chart layout. Use the chart elements to remove the grid lines. So now we're back on track to where we should be. Let's get rid of the grid lines. Done. Then we're going to change the font on the horizontal and vertical axis. Okay, so let's go here. And we'll right click and choose font. And we'll change that to Times New Roman. And we'll do the same thing over here. I'm just going to hit F4 and see if that worked. Which it did. So we're good there. So we now have Times New Roman insert sales as the primary vertical axis title. So let's go to title here. And we want to do the primary vertical. Primary horizontal would be down over here. And we're going to use sales. Click outside anywhere we need to. Then we're going to change the font size to 16 point and Times New Roman. If you hit Control A and nothing happens, just make sure you click again. Control A. we're going to go, I'm just going to choose home here. We have Times New Roman, and we're going to change it to, I believe, 16 point. Add a solid line border to the chart title using the default color and a preset. Pretty easy to do. Let's just click here. And we're going to, I'm going to right click and choose Format Chart Title. And then we have our border. And for the color, we're going to choose automatic. Let's just choose black. And that's good. And then we have the solid line. And let's see if it wants a width. Nope. And we just want to do an outside offset bottom right. So we don't see it here. So just start clicking on the ones to see in here. So here's shadow. And then we're going to do preset, outer, and we have, this should be bottom right here. So that looks kind of nice. And we're going to add a data table to the chart with a legend key. Pretty easy. Just click on the plus again, always a good place to start. And here's our data table. And here's with keys or no keys. So let's choose with keys. And we're going to save our work. That is number 4. Number 5 is format a chart. Use the chart tools, remove format tab, change the shape fill of the classic data series to olive green, darker 50%. So to do that, here is classic, is this color here. So if I click on this color here, I'm good. Notice that they're all selected here. And we want to change the shape fill to olive green accent 3, which is the last row and the 7th. So we're going to go here to chart design, which is not going to help you. And we'll go to format. And here is our chart fill. Now always start with either design or format. And if it's not there, go to the other one. Our shape fill, I believe they said last row, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is olive green, darker 50%. And you can see that it did change. If you look over on page 421, you can see there's different colors. That's because the next step is going to change that. So we have change the shape style in there to intense effect blue accent 1, which is a 6th row, second from left. So let's go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, second from left. And boom. Now you can see that has changed. That looks pretty nice. That is all of 5. So let's click on and save it. Create a pie chart, pretty easy. Switch to Q1 and Q2, which we've done. It tells us to select A4 to A8 and H4 to H8. So here's A4 to A8, and I'm going to hold the control key down and do H4 to H8. Then I'm going to create a 2D pie chart and move it underneath it. So we go to A11. So let's go to insert chart. And we want to do all charts and we want to do pie. This is 2D. This is 3D. So let's just do the 2D chart. And we're going to move it to A11. That was B. Add data callout labels, but do not display the legend. So again, we click on the plus sign here. Here, let's get rid of legend. And notice that disappeared on the bottom. And then we're going to do data labels. And we're going to do callouts. That is C. D is change the chart title to Q1, Q2 sales and use a word art to make it look all pretty. So this will be Q1 and Q2 sales. and word art style blue accent 6. Now, when you're doing the word art style, it's always best to select. I have a motto called when in doubt, select. So here's our word art styles. Tells us to do blue accent color 1, which is the second style in the first row. So this is the first row. I should be able to use this. And it doesn't look like much of a change, but it is changed. It's kind of small, so it's hard to see. In there, we want to explode the chart in here. So let's go and we're going to click on the, see which one it wants. It wants the artesian slice. Now notice if I click on artesian slice, it does everything. So just click on it again. And now we just have the artesian slice. We don't know where it is, so you can start going in here and seeing where we can find the explosion. Well, it's not there. It happens to be here. Do not accuse the angle with the explosion. So just going to put in 20. And you can see that come out of it. That is E, and then we're going to enter our name in the center workstation of the worksheet. So let's click on Insert, and in the footer, rather, we'll go to Header and Footer. We'll go to Custom Footer, and I'm going to type my name in here. So that takes care of F. Now we're going to start on number 7. Summarize your data with Sparklines. So we're going to go to I4. We're going to go to Insert. And we're going to go to Lines, Sparklines. And it asks us what is our data range. Data range should be B4 to G4, which makes sense. We're not going to include the totals because we only want to do the actual months. And we're good here. Then we'll just drag it down to copy it. And that did not work. Try that again. There we go. Then it's still selected. So what we want to do is we want to change it to bar. So all you have to do is click on column, rather, in here. So that looks nice. Doesn't look the same as what it shows because we haven't changed the color yet. So that we copy the Sparklines in B, we change it to columns in C, or bar, whatever you want to call it. Apply the Sparkline style, blue Sparkline style, dark 1, 5th row in here. So let's go to the style here. And then we're going to go to blue Sparkline dark 1, which is the 5th row, first column. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th row, first column. And then it wants us to add high point markers with a color of red. So to do that, we just click on marker color. And we want to go to high point, and we'll choose red. And notice that the highest one is now red and very easily available to see. Preview the worksheet and compare it. And let's save it. Starting with number 8, we're going to do data trends. So we need to go back to the column sheet. And again, here it is with the plus sign. Notice we have trend lines. So I'm going to click on trend line. And we want linear. So when you do that, we obviously have an issue because we're not selecting the one that we want. So let's undo this. Now, you say, why did it just do that? And it's simple, because this was selected, and we don't want anything selected. So let's go back and undo that. Let's unselect the classic. Now let's go back and add the linear trend lines and see what changes. Let's click on linear, and now it brings up what we need to do. It wants us to do both linear and, I believe, premium. Let's see, linear and premium. So let's see if we can do them both at the same time by control clicking premium. And it does not work. So you'll have to do it separately. So I knew it didn't work, but that is a simple thing that you would want to try to do to save yourself having to do the same thing twice. So now we have the linear trend line, which does not look proper. So let me go back and see if I did something wrong. Let's try linear. And it wants us to do the to premium and gold. Well, reading is probably fundamental. So let's try premium. And then let's try gold. So now we have what it looks like. We just need to change them to set the forward point to 2 periods for both. So let's go and set the forward point. So let's click on this one here. And let me get rid of this here. And we'll click on here. Notice the forward point, so we want to do 1 period. And then here we want to do the same thing. So now we're going to change the width to the trend lines to so let's click on this here. Let's change the width to, I believe, 3. And we'll do the same thing here. And we have a small discrepancy, which I probably missed something in here because I'm not seeing the dashes in here. So that's in the line options. So we can change the line options to something different if we want in here. So here is our dash type, and we can change it to this if we want. And we'll do the same thing here. And that should take care of everything that we need. This is done. Let me save it. And this looks pretty much like we should have it. So hopefully this was helpful for you. And let me know if you have any questions.